Could that banana you have with your oatmeal every morning be secretly working against your kidneys? It's a startling question, I know. Many of you are diligent about your health. You choose fruit over cake, you drink your water, you try to do everything right. But what if one of these seemingly healthy choices was contributing to a number? You watch like a hawk on your blood tests. Creatinine. Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Clark. For decades, I've been helping seniors navigate the complexities of their health. And one of the most common and concerning issues I see is declining kidney function. Creatinine is a word we doctors throw around a lot, but what is it really? Think of your muscles as a busy engine, working all day to help you move, walk, and live your life. Creatinine is like the exhaust, the natural waste product from all that work. It's the job of your kidneys, your body's sophisticated filtering system, to clear this exhaust out of your bloodstream. When your creatinine levels are high, it's a warning light on your dashboard. It's a signal that the filters might be clogged or struggling, and waste is starting to back up. The good news, and there is always good news, is that you are not powerless. Your choices, especially your food choices, can have a profound impact. Today, we're going to do something very practical. We're going to talk about fruit. We'll uncover the 3 best fruits that can actually support your kidneys in their vital work. And we'll also identify 3 common fruits that you need to be very cautious with, especially if your kidney health is already a concern. This isn't about scaring you, it's about empowering you with the knowledge to protect these vital organs. Let's begin with the heroes of our story, the fruits that are generally your kidney's best friends. These are the ones that can help support healthy creatinine levels, not by some magic trick, but through sound biological principles. First on our list is one of the most refreshing fruits. You can eat watermelon. Now, the most obvious benefit here is its high water content, which is typically over 90%. Proper hydration is absolutely non-negotiable for kidney health. Think of trying to wash a stack of dirty dishes with just a trickle of water versus a steady stream. More water helps your kidneys flush out creatinine and other toxins more efficiently. But the benefit of watermelon goes deeper. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, a gentleman named George. George was in his early 70s and his creatinine had been slowly creeping up. He confessed he wasn't a big fan of drinking plain water. So, we incorporated watermelon into his diet as a hydration strategy. A half cup of diced watermelon between meals not only satisfied his sweet tooth, but also significantly improved his fluid intake. At his next checkup, his levels had stabilized. But beyond hydration, watermelon is a fantastic source of an antioxidant called lycopene. Antioxidants are your body's internal rust-proofers. They neutralize damaging molecules called free radicals that cause cellular stress and inflammation, which are major enemies of your delicate kidney filters. Lycopene specifically has been shown to reduce this oxidative stress within the kidneys themselves. A lesser-known hero in watermelon is an amino acid called citrulline, which your body converts to arginine. Why does this matter for your kidneys? Arginine helps produce nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and widens your blood vessels, improving blood flow. Better blood flow to the kidneys means they get the oxygen and nutrients they need to function optimally. So when you enjoy a slice of watermelon, you're not just hydrating, you're providing anti-inflammatory compounds and supporting healthy circulation to your vital organs. Have you ever considered how a fruit's water content could be a form of medicine? Next on our list of kidney-friendly fruits is the entire family of berries, with a special mention for blueberries and cranberries. If watermelon is about flushing and hydration, berries are about protection and defense. They are packed, and I mean packed, with powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. Let me tell you about Margaret, a lovely woman I've treated for years who had recurrent urinary tract infections, which can sometimes ascend and cause stress on the kidneys. We made cranberries, particularly in their pure, unsweetened form, a regular part of her diet. Cranberries contain unique compounds called A-type proanthocyanins, which have a fascinating property. They make it difficult for harmful bacteria, like E. coli, to stick to the walls of the urinary tract. Think of it as making the bladder walls slippery so bacteria can't get a foothold and are flushed out. This directly protects the kidneys from ascending infections. Blueberries, on the other hand, are renowned for their high content of antioxidants called anthocyanins. That's what gives them their deep blue color. These compounds are incredible at combating inflammation throughout the body, including in the microscopic blood vessels and filtering units within your kidneys. Let me put it this way. Inflammation is like a slow-burning fire in your body's tissues. For an organ as delicate and hard-working as the kidney, this constant fire is incredibly damaging over time. The anthocyanins in blueberries act like a fire extinguisher, calming that inflammation and protecting the kidney tissue from long-term harm. A half cup of fresh berries with your morning oatmeal or as a simple snack is a fantastic dose of this protective medicine. Furthermore, berries are naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, two minerals that people with compromised kidneys need to carefully regulate. This makes them a safe, effective, and delicious choice. Do you tend to think of fruit as just a source of sugar, or are you starting to see it as a source of powerful, protective medicine? The third fruit on our list of kidney supporters is one you probably have sitting on your counter right now, the humble apple. An apple a day might not keep the doctor away entirely, but it can certainly help support your kidneys. The beauty of the apple lies in its unique combination of nutrients. First, like berries, apples are a low-potassium fruit, which immediately makes them a safer choice if your kidneys are struggling to filter excess potassium from the blood. But their real power comes from their fiber content, specifically a soluble fiber called pectin. I had a patient, Frank, who was managing both type 2 diabetes and early-stage kidney disease. These two conditions are often tragically linked, as high blood sugar can severely damage the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys over time. For Frank, apples were a perfect snack. The high fiber content slowed down the absorption of sugar into his bloodstream, preventing the sharp spikes that are so damaging to the kidneys. This took a tremendous amount of stress off his filtering system. But pectin does something else that's truly remarkable. In the digestive tract, it acts like a sponge. It binds with certain waste products and toxins in your gut, effectively trapping them and carrying them out of the body through your stool. This means those waste products never even get absorbed into your bloodstream, so they don't have to be filtered by your kidneys in the first place. You are, in effect, lightening your kidneys' workload before it even begins. On top of that, apples, especially their skin, are rich in an antioxidant flavonoid called quercetin, which has powerful anti-inflammatory properties. It helps to cool down that chronic inflammation we discussed earlier, further protecting the delicate kidney structures. One medium apple makes for a perfect, portable, and kidney-friendly snack. It's a simple, everyday food that provides a three-pronged defense: low potassium, blood sugar control, and a reduction of the toxic load. It's a wonderful example of how simple dietary choices can provide sophisticated health benefits. Now, we must turn to the other side of the coin. It's time to discuss the fruits that require serious caution, especially if you have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease or have been told your kidney function is declining. This isn't about demonizing these fruits. They have health benefits for people with healthy kidneys. But for those whose filters are compromised, they can pose a real risk. The first and most well-known on this list is the banana. The primary issue with bananas is their incredibly high potassium content. A healthy set of kidneys does a masterful job of balancing potassium levels in the body. It's a constant juggling act, keeping just the right amount in the blood for proper nerve and muscle function while filtering out any excess. But when kidney function drops, typically below 25 to 30%, they start to lose their ability to juggle. They begin to drop the balls, and potassium levels in the blood can rise to dangerous levels, a condition called hyperkalemia. This is not a trivial matter. High potassium can cause muscle weakness, fatigue, and most frighteningly, life-threatening heart rhythm problems. I once had a patient, a gentleman who loved his morning smoothie. He'd pack it with spinach, yogurt, and a whole banana every single day, thinking he was making a wonderfully healthy choice. He came to the emergency room with severe weakness and heart palpitations. His blood work showed a critically high potassium level, and we traced it right back to that daily banana. He had no idea his healthy habit was pushing his already weakened kidneys to the breaking point. The problem isn't just the amount of potassium, but the speed at which it's absorbed from a soft, easily digestible fruit like a banana. It can create a sudden spike in the bloodstream that overwhelms the kidneys. If you have kidney concerns, a whole banana is off the table. At most, a few small slices, perhaps a quarter of a small banana, is all that can be safely tolerated. And even that must be accounted for in your total daily potassium limit. Next on our list of fruits to approach with caution is another breakfast staple, the orange. Similar to the banana, the orange's main risk factor is its high potassium content, and the risk becomes even greater when you consume it in the form of juice. Let's think about this for a moment. How many oranges does it take to make 1 glass of orange juice? 3, 4, maybe more. When you drink that juice, you are consuming the potassium from all of those oranges in a matter of minutes, with none of the fiber that would normally be there to slow down its absorption. This delivers a massive, concentrated dose of potassium directly into your bloodstream, which can be a disaster for compromised kidneys. I remember a patient, Brenda, a wonderful woman who was meticulously following her diet. Yet, her potassium levels remained stubbornly high. We went over her food diary again and again, and finally found the culprit: a small glass of fresh squeezed orange juice she had every morning. She believed it was the healthiest thing she could be doing, a great source of vitamin C. She was heartbroken to learn that this single habit was putting her heart at risk. We swapped it for a small portion of fresh blueberries, and her potassium levels came down beautifully. Beyond potassium, there's another factor to consider for some patients. Citrus fruits are acidic, and for individuals with certain types of kidney disease, managing the body's acid load is another critical challenge. When the kidneys are unable to effectively excrete acid, it can build up in the body, leading to a condition called metabolic acidosis, which can worsen kidney disease progression. For most, the primary concern remains potassium. If you absolutely love the taste of orange, 1 or 2 segments of the actual fruit is a much safer bet than any amount of juice. But even then, it must be carefully budgeted into your daily potassium allowance under the guidance of your doctor or a renal dietitian. The final category of fruits to be extremely cautious with is dried fruits. This includes popular snacks like raisins, dates, prunes, and dried apricots. The problem here is one of concentration. When you remove the water from a fruit, you are left with all of its sugar and minerals, including potassium, in a much smaller, denser package. Let me give you a visual. Think of a cup of fresh grapes. Now, imagine a cup of raisins. That cup of raisins contains the potassium of many more grapes than you could likely eat in one sitting if they were fresh. It's a potassium powerhouse, and not in a good way if your kidneys are struggling. Let me tell you about a patient who loved to snack on trail mix. He was very active and thought it was a healthy way to get energy. But his lab work was erratic, with potassium and phosphorus levels often spiking unexpectedly. When we dissected his trail mix, we found the culprits: raisins and dried apricots. A small handful of that mix was delivering more potassium than his kidneys could handle. It's an easy mistake to make because they seem so small and harmless. The danger is deceptive. Even just a few dates or a small box of raisins can be enough to push your potassium into the danger zone. Furthermore, many commercially prepared dried fruits contain added sugars, which can be problematic for blood sugar control, and preservatives like sulfites, which can add another layer of inflammatory stress for a sensitive system to deal with. For anyone with moderate to advanced kidney disease, my general recommendation is to avoid dried fruits entirely. The risk-to-benefit ratio is simply not favorable. There are so many safer, more hydrating, and less concentrated fruit options available. Why risk an emergency room visit for a handful of raisins? The key takeaway here is that when it comes to fruit and kidney health, the form and the quantity matter immensely. So, how do we put all of this information into practice? It comes down to a few simple, actionable rules. First, portion control is paramount. For kidney-friendly fruits, a good rule of thumb is to stick to about a half-cup serving of berries or cubed fruit, or 1 small to medium whole fruit like an apple. Think of your kidney's filtering capacity like a dam. A manageable stream of water can flow through just fine, but a sudden flood can overwhelm it. That's what a large portion of fruit, even a safe one, can do. Second, spread your fruit intake throughout the day. Instead of having 2 servings of fruit with breakfast, have 1 with breakfast and 1 as an afternoon snack. This creates that steady, manageable stream we just talked about, preventing the sudden potassium spikes that are so stressful for the kidneys. Third, you must be aware of your total daily potassium intake. Potassium isn't just in bananas and oranges, it's also high in potatoes, tomatoes, dairy products, and many beans and legumes. You must look at the entire picture. Do you know how much potassium is in that can of healthy vegetable soup? It's crucial to work with a doctor or a renal dietitian to understand your specific daily limit and learn to track it. Finally, consistency is key. Keeping your diet relatively consistent from day to day helps your healthcare team get a clear picture of what's happening. If your diet is constantly changing, it's impossible for us to know if a change in your creatinine level is due to your diet, a new medication, or a real change in your kidney function. Consistency provides us with clean data to make the best recommendations for you. To recap, watermelon, berries, and apples are generally safer, supportive choices due to their lower potassium, high water content, and protective antioxidants. Bananas, oranges, and especially dried fruits require extreme caution due to their highly concentrated potassium content. The most important takeaway from all of this is that these are general guidelines. Your specific needs depend entirely on your stage of kidney disease and your latest lab results. Never make significant changes to your diet without first discussing them with your healthcare provider. Your food choices are one of the most powerful tools you have to manage your health. Small, informed swaps can truly make a world of difference for your kidneys. What fruit on this list surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and please, don't forget to subscribe for more practical medical guidance to help you live a healthier, fuller life.